Hey, what's up, everybody? Video 44 coming at you with another video. All right, so we don't have to go over any stats with this one because we just played the same team. We are playing the Houston Rockets once again in Houston, and we got the first one, took care of it 100-92, and the Lakers played some very strong, courageous defense, is what I call it. One of those type of situations where they didn't have to worry about Alperen Sengun. So as a result, we could just focus in on shutting down KD. And in the fourth quarter, the Rockets couldn't hit anything. Now, we couldn't either in that same quarter, but we did just enough to get the victory, and the Houston Rockets never figured us out. Well, they have a very smart coach, and they do have Alperen Sengun coming back. So I'd imagine there's going to be some adjustments to that, and I'd imagine it's not going to necessarily work the same way when you got Alpy out there creating problems in the paint. So that's something we need to consider tonight. The injury report are as followed. Maxi Kleber out for the Lakers. Steven Adams out for the season. Jae'Sean Tate out for the Rockets. And Fred VanVleet also out for the Rockets. So, yeah, Alpy is definitely playing tonight. Projected starters, Amen Thompson, Kevin Durant, Jabari Smith, Tari Eason, and Alpy Sengun. And for the Lakers, it's Marcus Smart, Austin Reeves, Luka Doncic, Bron, and Ayton. Tonight, the Houston Rockets are going to be wearing white with their alternate city floor. And we're going to be wearing our purple road uniforms. Second game of a road trip. The Lakers starting off the right way. We got Miami tomorrow. I got caught up on 11 different highlights last night. It took about 3 hours. So I'm pretty much all caught up with all of our next 4 opponents for this road trip. And, yeah, it's going to be interesting, man. It's going to be interesting because these are some good teams. And the Rockets are very good, and they have a lot of reasons to want to win this game tonight, as we do. It's an extremely important playoff game for both of these teams, as we are fighting for playoff seeding. The Lakers are in 3rd place. Rockets are in 4th place. I figured out the home and away record stuff. After all year long, I've been trying to figure it out. I get it now. They're showing you the road team's road record and the home team's home record. So that's really what that should have been worded as all year long. I figured it out. It took almost a season, but I finally understand what the hell they're trying to do here with that. I get it. So let's talk about it. The Lakers are 43-25. We're in 3rd place. Our away record is 20-13. We're 9th overall in offensive rating, 20th overall in defensive rating, and 15th overall net rating. The Houston Rockets are 41-26 in 4th place. Their home record is 23-9. They're 10th overall offensively, 8th overall defensively, and 8th net rating as well. So, yeah, figured that out finally. Honestly, man, I just am hopeful that the Lakers can get this victory. We really want the tiebreaker against this team. Obviously, we're right there with them, so it's a chance that the tiebreaker may, come into play. And we have the tiebreaker over several teams that we're fighting against, so that's great. Houston getting this win tonight will make it so that we have a tiebreaker over all the teams that we're faced with, except for Phoenix, who's 4.5 games behind us, unlikely to catch up to make it a problem. But we do need this tiebreaker. So this is probably the most important game of the season. Given how poorly we match up with Houston in general, and how important home court advantage is in a series against them. So that's something that is important to me. I think it's important to the Lakers as well. We got the first victory, so that's great. But the most important victory of this entire road trip is this game right here. And it's only because we won the last one. So we've done half the job. We got to finish them off, and we got to prove to ourselves that we can beat the Houston Rockets healthy, which we have yet to do. Alperen Sengun creates a lot of problems, just like Jokic does, just like Embiid does, just like any big center does for our unit. And he's not necessarily playing his best ball, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's not going to play great tonight, given with everything on the line and how important his piece is to this unit, especially given how bad they struggled against us to score the ball. He's going to need to come and play well, and I expect that he's going to push his weight around a lot. So that's something that we need to be ready for. Obviously, Kevin Durant had a poor fourth quarter, so he's definitely going to correct that. And, this is going to be the toughest game we played all year, in my opinion. Toughest game we played all year, because there's no more motivating factor for a team to come up against us and beat us, who also just so happens to match up well against us. So it's a lot. It's a whole lot. But we just beat this team. We exposed some of their real significant struggles. And I think our confidence should be extremely high. And we should be highly motivated to beat them too. Obviously. With what we have on the line, just like they do. So this is a playoff game. This is shaping up to be something special if both teams show up. Because the Houston Rockets have a lot to correct. The Los Angeles Lakers do too, because we were terrible in that fourth quarter. If they get hot and we continue to play the way we did, it's going to be a blowout going their way. If we get hot and they continue to play the way they did, it could be a blowout coming our way. This is the reality of this game. And it means everything to both of these teams. So, hey, man, I'm excited. I'm turned up, but I also temper my expectations because we've been let down so much by this unit this year. This is one of those games where we really need them to show up, and they have been playing so well for about 3 weeks now. On a 6-game winning streak, if I'm not mistaken. We just beat this Rockets team. We got a start of a long road trip right here. Season's winding down, playing our best ball. I just don't want us to lay an egg. You know what I mean? I just don't want to be let down. But let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6-game winning streak. Fantastic. We're very happy with where we're at, but we'll be even more happy if we take care of this very, very important game against a healthy Houston Rockets squad. 6:30 p.m. is the game time tonight. Pacific, 9:30 Eastern. And, this Houston Rockets team, they're tough, man. Even when they are shooting the worst they could possibly shoot, they still gave us hell on the defensive end. And we couldn't score on them very much either. We need Austin Reeves to shoot better. He was an awful 0 of 8 from behind the arc in this game. And it just is, that's not going to work tonight. Can't do that. Ayton only had 7 points. 11 rebounds is cool. 6 offensive rebounds, very good. But we need him to get in the scoring column and draw some fouls against Alpi and have his confident hat on. LeBron played the role excellent in the last game. We need him to continue to do that, specifically in the turnover category. He only had 1 turnover. We really, really need him to win in this matchup against this team in that regard. We need the turnovers to be low. Luka had 4 turnovers. Only 5 turnovers between LeBron and Luka. That's insane. Austin only had 1 turnover. That is all fantastic. I do not expect us to necessarily have that type of success that way tonight. But if we do, I like us in this matchup. Jake LaRavia had 3 steals. Austin Reeves, 5 stocks. Like, we need that type of defense to carry over into this game. If I'm not mistaken, Alpi turns the ball over a lot, so maybe we can up that a little bit if we can force some turnovers against him. But we need our bench to show up in the scoring column, man. Luke Kennard, get your act together, man. Hit a damn shot. Rui Hachimura, give us more than 6 points, bro. 23 minutes, 6 points is not enough. We need you to be aggressive. We need you to rebound the ball. 3 boards, 1 steal, that ain't getting it. I need more from Rui Hachimura. I need more from Jake LaRavia. Although he's a banshee that doesn't necessarily need to score to be productive, I need him to do better than what he gave me with 7 points, 4 rebounds, 3 steals. He needs to get involved in the assist category. He needs to give me at least 10, 11 points tonight. And Jackson Hayes, where you at, man? I know you're back from injury, but you've been back for 3 games. You've been bad in all 3 of those games. We need you to show up tonight. We need him to show up tonight. This cannot be another stinker in the bench column for us, man. Jackson Hayes, Jake LaRavia, Rui Hachimura, Luke Kennard, y'all got to play better. All 4 of you. You have to play better. Or I don't expect us to win the games if we don't get something out of our bench. That's better than that. It's going to be very difficult to beat the Rockets tonight. Vanderbilt, I would love to see him get some minutes. He was a DMP in the last one. I wouldn't suggest Coach do that again tonight. I wouldn't. Get him out there. Get him down there, man. You're shrinking your bench a little too much. You're counting on 7 people, and I promise you, that's not going to cut in the playoffs, bro. You're going to need to be a deeper basketball team to win. It just is what it is. I know he don't want to play Bufkin, Bronny, and Thero, and Dalton, Vando. He doesn't trust these people, but he needs the fresh bodies, man. He's going to need them fresh bodies, and if he doesn't understand that, he's going to lose. And it's going to be why. So I would suggest he learn to trust some of these people a little more down the stretch of the season. You know, they're not as bad as he's playing them to be. They're not. Maybe Connect has been, but the rest of these people are not as bad as our coach is benching them to be. And we need the fresh bodies, man. I can't stress that enough. We're gonna need them. Shrinking your bench does not work. I don't care what nobody say. You need to give your starters a breather so that they physically can handle the load. And if we want to make a deep playoff run, I would tell him that you're going to need to use more people. So that's really what I see there, man. Amen Thompson had a really nice game. He's been playing so well lately, man. I just expect for him to do whatever he wants to do. He was 8 of 13 from the field, 12 boards, 5 assists, 1 block. I expect for him to up that to several steals, 5 offensive boards. We just can't do nothing with him, man. It's probably just somebody we're going to have to let be whatever he does is try to shut down other people, because I just don't know if we have the quick twitch ability to keep him off the glass, to keep him from being in transition. Luckily enough, he's not a three-point sniper. He'd be the best player in the league, basically. So you got to really deal with Amen Thompson, man. And I expect for him to be a monster tonight. Tari Eason was 2 of 11 in the last game. I expect for him to shoot better. He did help out in other areas, 2 steals, 3 assists, 9 boards. He is a very difficult player to deal with. He also had 5 offensive rebounds. Between him and Amen Thompson, we're going to have to do a better job of boxing those people out. And Alpe's going to add to that. He's going to probably get 7 of his own. So expect for it to require more efficient offensive production to make up for the second and third chance points that this very good offensive rebounding Rockets team is going to provide themselves. They're going to get boards, man. Kevin Durant didn't have a single offensive rebound. I would not be surprised if he grabs at least 5 of them tonight. You know? And so this brings me to LeBron James. He only had 5 boards in this game. Bron, that's where you can up your production. 5 boards, you don't expect for your team to win if you're only going to get 5 boards at the power forward spot when you're down there for 33 minutes. You got to rebound the ball better. I'm not asking you to shoot more than 13 times. I think that's a good shot diet for what we have. 1 turnover is excellent. 5 assists is fair. 2 steals is great. But 1 offensive rebound, 5 boards? No, sir. No, sir. If he's serious about this game, he's going to crash glass, bro. And I know what LeBron looks like when he crashes glass. It's time to do that tonight. It's time to do that, especially on the defensive end. If we can eliminate some of them second chance offensive rebounds that they're going to give themselves, I like our chances. But if we give them second and third and opportunities, especially in the fourth quarter, don't expect to win. So, like, these are things that are very important, man. It's a good rebounding team. We have to rebound better. Aiden's 11 boards is great. We need that duplicated. Luka, 6 boards. Up that, bro. We need that. Rui, 7 boards, man. When we're happy with you, you're usually getting about 7 boards. Give me 7 tonight. I'm looking at everybody's rebounding total tonight because I know when Alvin comes back, they're going to eat. And now that Clint Capella's going back to the bench, expect for him to eat on offensive glass too. This is a big offensive rebounding team. I expect a lot of offensive rebounds from a lot of people. Clint Capella is off the bench, has been getting second chance rebounds better than he did in the starting lineup. With Alpe back, I expect for him to do that. And I encourage everybody to check out the video that I made Monday going through the stats of this team. That information is extremely important. So that video was made, and I ain't going on none of that right now, of course. See that video. So yeah, man, Reed Sheppard, he's not shooting very well from behind the arc. He's kind of on a bad stretch right now. Watch out for that dude. As I told y'all, he's a very gifted defensive steals guy, specifically stealing the ball. He's been good at that his entire college career and into the plurals. He had 3 steals in his last game. Do not underestimate his defensive gift. He is very, very talented stealing the ball, and he can shoot. He barely missed a shot in college. He's shooting poorly right now, probably the worst he's shot in years. I do not expect that he won't be a big player off the bench. We have to neutralize him. You have to neutralize him, man. He's the closest thing to a point guard they got on this roster. He don't really run the point like that, but if they're going to find some scoring somewhere where they didn't, it's going to come from Reed Sheppard, in my opinion. Maybe Tari Eason, too. I expect for both of those people to have much better offensive games than they had in the last game. Between the two of them, they only had 16 points. I expect that to double. Tari Eason probably go for 16 himself. Reed Sheppard probably go for about 15, 16 points, too. So, yeah, we need to be ready, man. I just don't. I think these guys got a good look at us. We were healthy, they were not. Alpi got a chance to look at what we were doing down there. I just know they're significantly more capable than what they showed us in this previous game. And although they've been playing bad ball and they really don't have an offense, setup guy or point guard to run things through, they still have players that we have trouble guarding. Kevin Durant, Tari Eason, Alpi Sengun, Amen Thompson. This is not a good matchup for us, so we have to be on our P's and Q's and our Q's and P's to beat this team. So that's really what it is, man. If you come out playing the way you did in the last one, you will lose. There's no way around it. 100 points is not going to beat the Rockets 2 nights in a row on their building, especially with the season series on the line. You're going to have to put up or shut up. That's really what it is. And look, I'm with Trevor Lane. He said something I 100% agreed with. He said it is much more important to get this basketball game tonight than it is to get the Miami game tomorrow. I would love to beat Miami. I want to win both of these games. But if I have to choose one, it's definitely this one against a Western Conference foe that we're in competition with. We need to put a loss on their belt. Excuse me. We need to win this season series. You understand what I'm saying? And we got the first one. Let's get greedy. So that's really what I have to say, man. I think I showed you guys what the Lakers are wearing. Purple, they're wearing white. Alternate floor. We did all that. And let's see if the injury report is something different over here. I don't believe it is. As it pertains to this other app. The injury report. It's yet to pop up. What's going on, man? But yeah, man, we gotta really we gotta be very, very careful not to be drinking our own Kool-Aid as it pertains to us beating the Rockets. They did not have their best player out there. And I know some people say Kevin Durant is their best player. No, it's Alpi Sengun. Sorry, KD. It's Alpi Sengun. It just is what it is. Maxi Kleber out. Jeff Tate out. Steven Adams out for the season. Fred VanVleet out. Yeah, nothing changed thus far. There's no update. Hopefully we don't have any late scratches or anything. We need everybody available. Luka the Don has been shooting so well, scoring, MVP-like ball. We just need him to continue doing what he's doing. It'd be great if he keeps his turnovers down. And it'd be good if he brings his rebounds up. I can't stress that enough. We got to crash the glass tonight. The defensive intensity that we brought to the last game is definitely something that needs to be duplicated tonight. If you happen to see it working, keep doing it. If it doesn't work, abandon it. Because if you're doubling Kevin Durant and he's doing a better job of finding open shooters and they hit those shots, curtains. Good night. That worked because he couldn't. We were doing a great job. I do believe there will be adjustments there. Their coach is too intelligent to just continue to get mowed over by the same stuff. So I'm assuming they're going to figure that out. But if they don't, do it again. You know what I mean? Force them to figure it out. Spam what works. So yeah, man, this is the game. This is the game we've been waiting for, man. We really needed the first one. We got it. We're so proud of ourselves. But now we got to go in here and prove to ourselves once and for all that we can actually compete with a healthy Rockets team, because we didn't prove that. Without Sengun, that is not the same squad. So you still in the doghouse. If you get blown out tonight, you should still try to avoid this Rockets team. You know what I mean? Honestly, I don't like our matchup against most of these playoff teams in our surroundings, which is why it's so important we get the home court advantage against each and every one of them. Tonight's game is essential in accomplishing that. So that's pretty much what I got to say, man. 6:30 is the time. 9:30 Eastern. Second game in Houston. Got to fly off to Miami tomorrow. Hopefully we walk out of here a victor, man. That should be the goal, to get our 7th win in a row. We're playing better ball than the Houston Rockets over the last couple of weeks. We are the better team as of right now, but they do match up with us in a difficult way. It poses a lot of trouble for us. We pose a lot of trouble for them. But we have to out-execute them down the stretch. They're not the greatest fourth quarter team from what I understand, so we got to shoot better in the fourth and defend as well in the fourth and rebound. Much better. And be physical. Bring the game to them. Bring the game to them, because you know Alpi's going to be pushing people around. You know Amon's going to push people around. Dorian Finney-Smith was playing great in the last game. I expect for him to be hyped tonight. The on-ball defense of Tari Eason and Amen Thompson and Reed Shepherd, Kevin Durant, those people are very talented defensively, so I expect for this to be a difficult game. And we need Austin Reeves to show up, man. 15 points, 0 of 8. You do that again, we definitely getting beat. That is not going to work, man. You have to find a way to be more effective. You're the number 2 overall option on this team, bro. And we're asking LeBron James to only take 13 shots because we want to give you 16 or whatever it's going to be. You have got to be more effective than what you've been. And if you're not, then we're going to have to rethink the pecking order in this role, straight up. We're going to have to rethink that pecking order. If Austin's not going to be able to step up and play better, LeBron is going to need to step up and be number 2, and Austin just got to take that big step backwards. And this is what it is. But I don't believe we're there yet. I think Austin's more than capable of doing this, but he's going to have to do it. It's not about me thinking. He's going to have to show it. And so I'm just on him tonight. I expect Luka to play like Luka. Luka can give us 40 points or something like that, 37 to 40 points. That's what I expect from Luka. LeBron going to stay disciplined, exert his energy in areas where he's never had to as much, being a banshee out there and hustle, particularly on the glass. I'm counting on him to give me more than 7 boards tonight. And that means Austin Reeves, you gotta overcome that on-ball defense, get to the line, do all of the things that you do. Hopefully the shot falls. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. Your floor game was good in the last one. Turnovers were down, steals and stocks up. That is exactly what I need from Austin Reeves, whether the shot falls or not. Play a good floor game. Do not cough the ball over. And be ready for the physicality, man. They're going to be significantly more physical. I cannot stress this enough. They were already a very physical team. They just got their butts whooped in an embarrassing way. They're going to be a lot more physical tonight, and they're more capable with Sengun on the floor of being that. Force him into turnovers. I cannot stress this enough. Alpi Sengun has been turning the ball over. And do not turn him into a free throw shooter. One thing I noticed about him over the last 5 games, he has not been shooting a lot of free throws. We need not send him to the line more than 6 times. For whatever reason, he's not getting there. It's weird, and I don't want it to be something that doesn't continue. If he's only going to shoot about 6 free throws, that's very good for us. But if he starts getting to the line, like stars like him usually do, that's going to give them a lot more points. We don't need that. So that's what I'm curious to see what type of Sengun we get tonight. Is he triple-double Sengun with 30 points? Because if he's that guy, we're in trouble. But if he played like he been playing, fresh off injury, wasn't that good before he got hurt, he ain't been himself, then that can really help us, especially if he's turning the ball over as much as he had been. So I'm keeping an eye open for him, see what the tone is with that dude. And so, yeah, man, everything else is something I've already said, man. Expect for KD to shoot better. Expect for KD to be better, especially in the fourth quarter. You're going to have to out-execute him tonight. He's not going to be as bad as he was in the last one. It's just not going to happen. BDL 44, I thank you all for watching.